Hi, my name is Wilx, and this is episode 8 of Project Ozone 3. Well, today we're going to talk a little bit about a brand new mod. It's only been out for a couple of days. Lootcapacitortooltips. We're going to make some large drums so that we can get rid of some of those quantum tanks that are going away. We're going to make an animal rancher to start collecting that crude oil that I got from a cow. We're going to make Spectre energy injector and some coils so we can wirelessly transfer energy. We're going to make a few things to make mining, manual mining easier, like Dank, Null, an atomic disassembler, an electromagnet, and a fluxomagnet. Both those magnets do very different things. And then we're going to make a portal to Landia and go do some mining in Landia. All right, so let's talk about the Lootcapacitortooltips. Now, OZ had asked me if there was a better way to figure out which were the best loot capacitors. And see how it says Splice and Slice 4.0. In other words, this mod has done the calculation to figure out which is best and why, and come up with a number for you, where it's calculated together a couple of different things, like the global level and what the slice level was, etc. And so what I did was I went through 2 crates of these things, and I deleted anything that wasn't at least a 4. And now I've got it down to like a dozen of them or whatever, of the good ones, maybe 2 dozen. And so all of these are 4 or better. So that's just a minor thing that I thought might be of interest to you. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, notice my field of view looks right again. And it was suggested by Yavuz GM that I go in and change it. And I brought it down to a 48. I think normal's about here or something. And it looks pretty normal to me. The only problem I have with it is when I change levels, like here. See what it did? Whoops. See how it's sort of in and out as I do that? Now, I could get rid of that because Steve Severn suggested the no FOV mod, and that's what he had installed. But I decided to try it with just the changes to the FOV and see how much that bothers me. I don't do that very often, so it's not bothering me very much yet. All right, let's get started on this episode. So, to make the reinforced drum, I've got all the diamonds I could possibly want, all the gold I could possibly want. Who cares? I made 16. This will be the 16th of these that I made, just so I've got some around. I'm going to be tossing them out probably pretty soon anyways. The reason we're doing that is Marvin Wiseman suggested that the quantum storage is being removed in the next update. Quantum storage, not the quantum flux, the quantum storage. So I'd used a bunch of quantum tanks and the quantum inventories, and I need to change some of those over to drums or something. Now, they are going to be bringing back the black hole and the black hole tanks, but I need something to do the transfer, to transfer them into till we get those things, right? So that's what I'm doing there. Oh, and I could have gone for the next upgrade to it, the demonically gargantuan drum. Now, all that would have involved was me getting a demon ingots, which I think those are the ones where you just toss iron into lava, a little pool of lava in a nether fortress. And these things are actually easier than they sound when you see Klein in front of them. So I could have gone with them if I was really worried about fluids. Oh, this does about 4,000 buckets, I think. All right, and an animal rancher, very straightforward stuff. Let's go place that right away. Oh, notice I moved these down. I thought they looked better down here. Something you might be interested on these. If I take and I break it, and then I place it again. Whoops. I don't like the way the legs, I don't like the legs. What you've got to do is place it against the thing, not on the ground. But notice it keeps the words. So I could move those things around. Some of them had legs, some of them didn't, etc. I thought it was kind of cool. All right. So now we need to ranch some crude stuff. So we'll drop the aminal rancher down here and get out our, that's our fluid cow there. Ooh, I know what I don't have. I don't have it yet. Oh, I forgot to make something. It was further down the list, and the reason it's there is that bloody animal rancher doesn't allow fluid piping, just to make things annoying. So I'm going to use one of these instead. All right. Now I'll put my cow down there. Now notice this is sitting deliberately on top of that. Otherwise the cow, he can't go over the wall, but he could go over this. So with that there, it's too high and he can't. Now if I put a fence post up there, he could step on the edge and get out. But this is the full size of it, so he can't get out of that. All right, let's give us some power. And that's powering this thing up. And now, for this guy here, we're going to turn down to the bottom here and right click 3 times. That is push and pull. And we need a bucket. We're going to come in here and we're going to stick ourselves in a bucket. And so what should happen now is when it decides to do this cow, I don't know what it's waiting for. Oh, I know exactly what it's waiting for. Got to put the range upgrade in. There, boom, did it. Okay, yeah, so this now made the range like that. It was only doing like 1 block in front of it or something. Okay, so now we've got a bucket of stuff in there, but this thing only fits 16 buckets. So let's do something about that. We'll take this side and we'll make it a push, and we'll put down one of these, and as you can see, it's 4,000 buckets is what it takes. But that's plenty for what we need right now. And so that's our system for getting oil out of that. And later on, I can put more drums around it for different cows, different fluids. All right. Oh, the only place where I'm going to run into problems, I tried drawers. Like, this is a drawer with a bunch of emerald upgrades. It can fit just under 400,000 that way. I could put one more emerald upgrade in. I think emerald's the highest these go. But I still have some in there, or especially this one here. I got 2 million in there. And this is basically full. So, not 100% sure whether I care. If this goes away and I lose 2 million, doesn't matter. I don't even have the plants down right now because I've got so much of this stuff. And 9 of these plants produce more than both these systems can use. So, oh, note on that part. Black holes. for the changing over. Now, if you want, let's say you have something that there's way too much of it and you don't want to lose it. You can't fit in drawers or some other storage. Barrels might be bigger. Not Yaba. Yeah, Yaba barrels. I think, I haven't tried it yet, that I could figure out which lines in the scripts are stopping the black holes right now and show you how to delete those and see if we could start putting in the black holes right away while we wait so that we can handle the transition better. So if you have a need like that, let me know in the comments and I'll put in the instructions in the comments on how to do it. All right. But there's just nothing that I'm particularly worried about at this point in time. Like, for instance, over here, the particular drum I'm using is not big enough for all the lava that's in there, but I don't care. If I cared, I'd go get the bigger drum. All right. Now, moving on. So we are going to make a beacon. I've got 5 nether stars now from patient bags. All my patient bags dropped them. I don't have any more at this point. Hopefully I'll get more, but not yet. That's the one thing I care about and why my mob farm's still running is patient bags. I don't care about any of the rest of the stuff that's coming out of it. And we'll put that in there. Okay, so the Spectre string, the ectoplasm, remember we did the tree the other day? That comes from there. This is pretty straightforward. The Spectre ingots is this recipe here. And that's our Spectre energy injector. What that's for is that's what you put the power into so the coils will work. And then to make the coils. Now I made the lower level one, so that was that. Okay, so that's the easiest one. The next one up. And whoops. And so I already made 16 of these. I was going to make 16 of those, but I actually ran out of the this stuff. And it was suggested to me that, I already knew it, that you could use bone meal on the bonsai pots. But 3 stacks of bone meal only netted me 8 of these things. Well, that's not enough. I needed a whole pile of this. So I sort of stopped there, and I'll make one of the big ones, and these ones are at 4,000. This is at 20,000. And as I get more of this, I might upgrade them or not bother. I'm not producing 20,000 yet, so it doesn't really matter that much. All right. Dank Null. So I made the lower level ones. The only thing that was even mildly interesting was getting the dyes. To do that, I made myself some dye essence by making some dye seeds, which that's just 4 pieces of any dye. Doesn't matter what it is. So they were very easy to make, and then when I needed any of the dyes, I just click on it. It would automatically show up with the correct dye, 6 at a time. And that's how I got these things. So now we're up to the highest level one, the emerald one. And I've already done the others. Okay, let's actually, before I forget, let's go over here. And I'll place down this. And it's powering up. Yeah, so that was an output on the front of this. Okay. Now for mining, I'm going to show you how these guys work. But we'll talk more about them later. I just wanted to show you they were simple gunpowder and flint. The atomic disassembler. Well, since I already have the machines, it's very simple for me to make. However, to the machines that you need to make this, you need the machine frames, which now need pneumaticrafts. So some of you won't be able to make this. And so we'll make that. Actually, I should have waited till I made that to run over here. And we will put that in there and get it powered up. It won't take very long. Okay, these things were really, really popular before vein miner was a thing. You can vein mine with this thing without the vein miner mod. Making an electromagnet. I decided to make that instead of the ring here because the electromagnet will get powered up by this, the ring won't. So this is a little more expensive than the ring, but nothing that I care about. Actually, next thing we need to power up. Okay. And one more thing to power up. Okay, so this is the Fluxomagnet. These are all just like this. Nothing dear to me because I have Endurium and Signalum and stuff all in crops right now, so this stuff's easy for me. Again, though, we got to power something up here. Okay, let's show you how this thing works. Why have I got atom translocators out here? I don't know. Oh, I may need to... Can I still see it? Yeah, I can still see it. So I got to aim correctly for it. Shift right click? Nope. There we go. I should have picked something bigger to throw out there. Let's try that again. So it's all just a matter of being able to line it up. There we go. So you just right click on it when you're pointed at it, and you can draw it from pretty much any distance as far as I know. Well, maybe there is a range on these, and I should, but this is, yeah, this is pretty much the longest range. Oh well. So you can be up at the top of a hole looking down and pull stuff up from the bottom, sort of thing, so long as you can see it. Okay. Our portal to Landia. We got our Landium ore from the last episode. Or was it the one before that? I forget. We'll make that. And this was a suggestion by the Pimmon UK that Mechanism has its own anchor or chunk loader for the Digiminer. All right, let's set this up. So we'll place that right there. Now we need to kill a undead mob within range of it. Let's get these. These are making me nervous. I gotta get them off my bar before I blow something up. So we'll put down zombie right there. And because we killed something within range, that lit it up. And we don't need this anymore. Actually, I should have used the atomic. Oh well. No, we'll leave those. I'll just get rid of this. Did we get anything else from it? No, that's fine. Okay, so we have a portal home. And yeah, that's about all we need. All right, let's get rid of this stuff. And off to Landia we go. You can it saved it from a previous game where I put the map marker. Oh, how did this now show up in my inventory? Interesting. I need some sort of building block to go out here. Oh, and we should put down some... Actually, I should have had that out. I need some lamps of some sort to light this area up. And I've got some lamps in here. Yeah, go away, you. Lamps. Guess we use the black ones. And let's just come out this way. I should get out my wand, but I'm just not going to be going that many. I have so many torches. I just don't care about using that. Get out of my way. Okay, so now we're going to drop down our digital miner over here. Oh, I know what we should set up before I forget. We'll set up our way home. Whoops. There we go. And that's the one for home. And we'll set up a new one for here. And this guy. Oh, we need to give it some power. I'm going to use an ultimate energy cube. Put that there. This thing's full. And I'm not 100% sure I know how to use these things yet. I'm going to put that on top and config input on top. Okay, output on the left. So that should be good. Oh, and we're going to want... I don't have it out, figures. This thing. Up on top like that. Now, for the settings for this, remember before we had these settings? That's not going to work this time because one of the things we want are the Lordcraft simple crystals, and I can't find any ID that's going to work with them. Or at least I don't believe there is one that works. So we're going to delete that, delete that. We're going to go for a new filter, and we're going to do it in reverse this time. We're going to do an inverse filter. And mod ID, we don't want anything from Minecraft. No cobble, no craft, no cobble, no gravel, no dirt, all those things. All right, and it's an inverse on. So it's an inverse, radius of 32, that's the largest we can go. And we can put in other filters here too if we get too much of something else. All right, so that's set up. We've got our chunk loader here. Now, he said just shift click it in and it doesn't take time to load. Did he mean from here? No, it doesn't seem to shift click in like that. Still seems to... I'm not sure what he means. Somebody told me you can just shift click it in and it doesn't take time to load. I don't know what he means by that. All right, so we've got all that configured up. Now, silk on. I'm going to put silk on. The reason I'm doing that is I want at least one of the simple crystals as raw ore, not as crystals. So I can put it in as a filter. So let's say later on I just want simple crystals. So I run around the map, I drop this thing down, have it collect all the simple crystals, move it, go on to the next one, and do it again. So I want at least some of them that I can put in there as my filter. Okay, so that looks all ready to go. And yeah, it's got 20,000 things it wants to pull up. So it's getting osmium, kelantine, quartz. So notice that none of the stuff from Minecraft, right? Garfax ore. See, one of the problems I'm trying to solve in the mining that we're doing here is there's a whole sort of line of the way things go. Friscon, Garfax, Morgaine, Rashaline, Caline. I probably mispronounced some of those. But you can't, you have to have the right tool, a high enough tool to do the highest level stuff. So, and we're getting the abysmal craft stuff here too. So to get this one, we would have needed a higher level tool. So this stuff seems to be coming up. I don't see any of the simple crystals yet. That's kind of what I was looking for. I was going to turn off the silk once I got a simple crystal. Oh, well, we'll just leave it go for a minute. Actually, so that it's got a little more room. No, this thing's going to empty out right away when we do that. Let's say we didn't want limestone. We could put that in as a filter as well. Well, we'll give it a minute, see how it does. Let's try out some mining with these things. And we're going to turn on our magnet. And we're going to grab this. And we'll turn that sucker on so that it refills our magnet. Okay, let's pick a spot to go mining. This looks good right over here. Now, the thing I actually want... Oh, we're full. Okay, so what we need to do here is this guy. We need to shift open him up, put in all this stuff we just collected. Let's get some of this stuff out of my inventory here that doesn't need to be here right away. But why do I have more stuff in my inventory again? Okay. You don't need to be here. You don't need to be here. Do I care about that? I don't know. Okay. Notice all the ores are still good. And then we can just continue on down. Now I wanted to use the quantum magnet, quantum flux magnet, but for some reason he went and deleted that sucker on me. Oh, we got one of those here, eh? All right. Actually, let's continue on down. Okay, and we're down to bedrock. Now be careful with this thing. From what I understand, it can lose stuff, these Dank nulls. So anything that you feel is important to you, I recommend that you take that out of it before you log out, because you're liable to lose it. Okay, but that's enough of that type of mining for right now. What happened there? Still collecting stuff. Okay, so let's take a look at this guy here. Now he has different modes. If we hold shift and right click, that's slow mode. Why would anybody want a slow mode? If you're in your base and you're breaking a machine and you don't want to break a whole row of machines, slow mode's a good idea. Fast, 128. That's really quick. Vein mine. Let's see. I'm not pressing vein mine. I'm just using this as the vein mine. I don't know why it didn't vein mine. We were in vein mine row, right? Off, normal, slow, fast, vein. Does it have to be an ore to vein mine? Maybe. But those ores aren't really connected, so can't tell from that. Now that is, what is that? Kelantine. Kelantine is, I think that's the highest level one. So watch. No problem. The atomic can do it. So that's the whole point of this right now, actually, is that it can do any level of stuff. Doesn't matter. But you can do the regular vein mining with it. I think we're going to need to put some food on our bar if we're going to do that. Where is my pizzas? And Dank null. Whoops. What? Actually, Kelantine will keep out of there. All right. So you can still vein mine this. So basically that's how the atomic reconstructor works, or deconstructor. Now this thing should have filled up its inventory by now. Let's take this off our bar. And actually we don't need you turned on anymore, or you turned on anymore. So yeah, this thing's filled its inventory at this point. Do we have any? No. Okay, so I'm not going to get to show you that part of it. But there is a spot on the back here. I'm going to stick an ender chest. Whoops. Now this ender chest goes out to my base. Come on. Now, where's the auto eject? There we go. So now it's spitting all the stuff into that. And that ender chest from there is then taking it and putting it into a crate at the other end. Yeah, why is this stuff not stacked? Why is it all in little bits? Oh well, doesn't matter. Well, that's pretty much it for this episode. That's what I want to show you, was ways of getting around the problem of not needing to upgrade the pick to each different level. I showed you 3 different ways to do it: the digital miner, the explosions, and the atomic disassembler. Well, I hope you learned something new. Go out there and have some fun. Thanks.